The third Passion history reading, according to the fourth Gospels, we will have these words read responsibly as they are printed and labeled in the worship folder. The detachment of soldiers with its commander and the Jewish officials bound Jesus and brought him first to Annas, who was the father-in-law of Caiaphas, the high priest that year. Caiaphas was the one who had advised the Jews that it would be good if one man died for the people. Simon Peter and another disciple were following Jesus. Because this disciple was known to the high priest, he went with Jesus into the high priest's courtyard. But Peter had to wait outside at the door. The other disciple, who was known to the high priest, came back, spoke to the girl on duty there, and brought Peter in. It was cold, and the servants and officials stood around the fire they had made to keep warm. Peter also was standing with them, warming himself. Meanwhile, the high priest questioned Jesus about his disciples and his teaching. Jesus replied,
I have spoken openly to the world. I always taught in the synagogues or at the temple, where all the Jews come together. I said nothing in secret. Why question me? Ask those who heard me. Surely they know what I said.
When Jesus had said this, one of the officials nearby struck him in the face. He said, Is this the way you answer the high priest?
If I said something wrong, testify as to what is wrong. But if I spoke the truth, why did you strike me?
Then Annas sent him, still bound, to Caiaphas, the high priest. The chief priests and the whole Sanhedrin were looking for evidence against Jesus so that they could put him to death, but they did not find any. Many testified falsely against him, but their statements did not agree. Then some stood up and gave this false testimony.
We heard him say, I will destroy this man-made temple, and in 3 days will build another, not made by man.
Yet even then their testimony did not agree. Then the high priest stood up before them and asked Jesus, Are you
not going to answer? What is this testimony that these men are bringing against you?
But Jesus remained silent and gave no answer. Again the high priest asked him, Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed One?
I am. And you will see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of the Mighty One, and coming on the clouds of heaven.
The high priest tore his clothes. He asked, Why do we need any more witnesses? You have heard the blasphemy. What do you think? They all condemned him as worthy of death. Then some began to spit at him. They blindfolded him, struck him with their fists, and said,
Prophesy, who hit you? And the guards beat him.
While Peter was below in the courtyard, one of the servant girls of the high priest came by. When she saw Peter warming himself, she looked closely at him and said,
You also were with that Nazarene Jesus.
But he denied it and said,
I don't know or understand what you're talking about.
Just as he was speaking, the rooster crowed. He went out into the entryway. When the servant girl saw him there, she said again to those standing around, This fellow
Is one of them.
Again, he denied it. After a little while, those standing near said to Peter,
Surely you are one of them, for you are a Galilean.
One of the high priest's servants, a relative of the man whose ear Peter had cut off, challenged him.
Didn't I see you with him in the olive grove?
Then he began to call down curses on himself, and he swore,
I don't know this man you're talking about.
Immediately, the rooster crowed the second time. The Lord turned and looked straight at Peter. Then Peter remembered the word the Lord had spoken to him.
Before the rooster crows twice, you will disown me in 3 times.
And he went outside and wept bitterly. Very early in the morning, the chief priests and the elders, the teachers of the law, and the whole Sanhedrin reached a decision. They bound Jesus, led him away, and handed him over to Pilate. When Judas, who betrayed him, saw that Jesus was condemned, he was seized with remorse and returned the 30 silver coins to the chief priests and the elders. He said, I have sinned, for I have betrayed innocent blood.
What is that to us? That's your responsibility.
Judas threw the money into the temple and left. Then he went away and hanged himself. The priests picked up the coins and said,
It is against the law to put this money into the treasury, since it is blood money.
So they decided to use the money to buy the potter's field as a burial place for foreigners. That is why it has been called the field of blood to this day. Then what was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet was fulfilled. They took the 30 silver coins, the price set on him by the people of Israel, and they used them to buy the potter's field, as the Lord commanded me.